Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm K-Gibbs GP and welcome to another episode of Forza 6 Multiplayer Madness. And today we're about to prepare for a race at Daytona. It's the infield section, it's a sports car circuit. And I'm going to share with you now, I absolutely hate this layout. Oh my word. Whoever designed this, it just doesn't flow. It just doesn't. You go into an infield section which is clearly more than a bodge job than anything else, and it just does not flow at all. There's always carnage at turn 1. You can't ever find your braking zone for it. It's just a mess. Anyway, we'll carry on regardless. A multiplayer usually is fairly frenetic on this track because it doesn't flow very well. Every part is an overtaking point for most drivers anyway. And so just in the loading screens now, I'm driving a Lamborghini Gallardo in this one, as we've got 3, 2, 1, and we're away for this race. The Mercedes in front of me has got so much wheel spin off the line there, sliding down the bank as we head now in towards turn 1. No idea what's going to happen. I've got McLaren on my inside. He's punted me off. Oh my goodness me. So we're well down already. P17, P8, P19 as the Willys Jeep goes for a little bit of a spin at the first corner, and it's absolute carnage ahead of me. Trying to pick my way through the smoke there. I've got a massive fishtail on as I've been absolutely rammed as well, just to get myself going again. That actually gave me a bit more traction out of there, so thank you very much whoever that was. As we now head into what I believe is turn 4, I've got an Aston Martin that's gone for an ambitious move up my inside, but I've got the cut back on him, so that's back into P14. So now as this field gets strung out a little bit after that hectic turn 1, as we go through this little apex here, we clip the curb, we've gone a little bit wide, we're grass tracking. The Aston's done exactly what we have, and he's taken a lot more speed through there than I have, so that's, well, a rather outrageous overtake from him. He's taken me while we've both been out of control on the grass. So good news for him, I've had a Mercedes go around the outside of me there as well, so I'm down into P16. I've been punted up rear by McLaren. I've then hit the Mercedes, the collateral damage in that. Apologies to the chap in the Mercedes who now probably thinks I'm a ramming noob. But again, we'll carry on regardless, and we've got someone on the grass there. He's just rejoined on the banking, but that's never good, getting right in the way of the traffic. He's now got so little momentum, we may even have him as we head into this chicane now. So we're going to try and be as late on the brakes as we can, and we've got the outside line. He's not braked at all. I've been hit by somebody else who hasn't braked. Everybody's in the wall. This is rather frantic, that one. I'm down back in P17 again now. Everybody's a ghost car, so there's 3 of us all inside each other at the moment, and yeah, just about sorted itself out in the end. But P17 towards the end of lap 1, so to say we've got work to do would be quite the understatement. As we've now left the infield section, we're back on the famous bank corners, and obviously we're not going to be pitting because there's no sim damage on in this race. If there was sim damage on, I doubt we'd be able to even get the car out of the trouble we've got it in so far. As we head into the tough braking zone of turn 1, I'm having a look down the inside of the Aston. I think we've got the job done there, so that's now P15. We've made a bit of ground as a few people came to grief at turn 1. It's always tricky, like I said, into there, and we've got about 10 cars ahead of us now, all looking for the same bit of road as we head into turn 3. I've clipped the back of the Corvette there, and he's clipped the Mustang, and it's all got very messy on the exit. As I say, it's all got very messy. It's been messy from the start, to be honest, this one. And I've been hit up the rear again, just about holding the slide, little bit of grass tracking again, not quite as bad as we did last lap. I've been hit again there, and a little bit of a nick on the Aston as well on the way through. The car's already looking pretty second hand after all its adventures so far. So yet still we're down in P13, we still haven't been able to make up that much progress, and I've still got that McLaren, the Mercedes ahead of me, who I clipped in the last lap. Someone else was in the wall back there again, so not a good day for him. I've been clipped going onto the banking, I've lost control, fishtailing out of control, and we're now facing the wrong way on the bank. This is not a nice place to be. We've ghosted, fortunately. I'm going to try and pull myself out of this position. I've beached it for a moment, but we have got it going again, and I'm now down in P18 of 19. The Willys Jeep that came to grief at the first corner of the first lap is the only guy that's behind me in it. By the looks of that, the fact he's 15,000 feet away from me now, 16,000 feet, I'm sure he's actually now given up. So we are essentially dead last after all of that. So that's not worked out too well for us. As we now head through the chicane that breaks up the back straight, To be fair, I don't mind that bit of track. I will put it out there now. It flows quite nicely, that particular part, on the basis you take such a lot of speed into there, and if you clip those curves right, you get a good line through there. You can actually make up quite a lot of time, and it does rather work well, that bit, which is more than can be said for the rest of the infield section. But we've now got to put that to one side and really nail a few corners here if we're going to catch up to the back of the pack. So late on the brakes as we head into turn 1. I've gone a little bit too late, a little bit wide in there, but it looks like some people have gone wider still. So we've made up quite a bit of time, in fact, on the guys on the tail enders as we now head through the chicanes, turn 2 and turn 3, heading into turn 4. The game's given us a perfect turn there, so we'll take that. One guy who's not done a perfect turn, he's on the grass, is that guy who just passed for P17. We've got Willie's Jeep, who had given up, just ahead of us now, so we've got to make sure he doesn't ram us off, because I'm sure his number 1 goal in this race is, well, looks like it's to do some off-roading. He's in the right car for it, at least. So last lap to make some moves and to try and restore some pride on this race. We are now merely playing for pride as I look to improve on P17. Again, late on the brakes, nearly hitting the back of the Corvette for the second time in this race. That would not be good. I've done a little bit of track extending there, but after the race I've had, I don't really care at this point. As we hope we've got more straight line speed than the Corvette as we try and close him down. Obviously last lap, last chance to do any sort of manoeuvres. So as we head into the chicane, I'm going to try and make up as much ground as possible on the brakes. He's broke early, so I've got a bit of a chance now. He's lost the rear as well on the way in, smoke everywhere. He's gone up the inside of the Ferrari. I've nearly hit the back of the Ferrari. He's had to brake. I'm up the inside of him. I'm inside him briefly there with a bit of ghosting. The Corvette's got the jump on us now. He's cleared off into the distance, and it's going to be a disappointing P16. I'm now looking at the race ends timer at the top there and just hoping I don't even DNF. So we've got 20 seconds. We should make it with some time to spare, but it's been a dire race. Disaster, you could say, as we head P16 over the line at a P19. It all started with that McLaren that rammed us off in turn 1, and from there on in it just got worse and worse and worse. 1:51.7 my best lap time. Disastrous. My car's looking decidedly second hand. That's going to really need a respray after that. I don't think some of them dinks are going to buff out either. But in any case, I hope you've enjoyed the second episode of Multiplayer Madness. I'm going to need to lie down in a darkened room after that one. But until next time, guys, see you later.